What's up, y'all? I'm Jey.
And I'm Meka. So we are at the last episode of all the episodes they released, episode 6, and all the couples are now in Baja, Mexico. Yeah, so Madison is not Joe's normal type, apparently.
Funny thing is, she can't see anyways, and then they take her to this place that wasn't well lit, so of course she's like,
oh yeah, that was so messed up. And I was thinking, like, you need to learn how to kind of help her out a little bit, all like jokes aside. Like, I know it's something he got to get used to, I guess, but she tripping all over the hotel room and stuff because she can't really see. And then at one point he tries to put her in the jacuzzi and he like drops her in there kind of, so because she misses a step. It's a mess. But she realizes pretty quickly like something is kind of off with Joe, and so they get into this conversation that basically lends to him saying that she's not his normal type. He tells us, the viewers, that he usually dates a smaller gal, but he's like, I ain't got nothing against it. He's like, it's just not my norm. But she's picking up on that.
Yeah.
But he says he's attracted to her.
Yeah. You gotta say that before you get the yams. That's what he was doing. That's literally.
Yeah, that is. She said to him that, she feels like he's not really attracted to her, and that makes her feel like, she's not good enough. Yeah. And he's like trying to tell her like, no, it's just, again, it's not my norm. And she was like, oh, so you're saying like I'm just different from the other girls that you used to date? And he's like, yeah, that's what I mean, right? She's like, oh, okay, so she gives up the yams now. But like, long story short, that is what she ends up doing. He clarifies, and
75% of the people on there,
pretty much all of them slept with their people. But yeah, that was them. They got past that whole situation. Let's get on to our favorite.
So now we're gonna get into KB and Edmund. You take it over.
So KB and Edmund, they're getting along pretty well, per usual. They go to like a little, I don't know, like a restaurant or something at the resort. I don't know. They're sitting out eating, and KB decides she wants to test Edmund. And I feel like she's doing this because I think she might have picked up on some stuff, like just kind of being around him a little bit. Like,
yeah,
are you about that life? Like, are you going to protect me? I think she started feeling like, I don't know, So she flat out asked him, hey, if we was at the club or whatever we're at, and a guy, a big dude tried to get at me, what you going to do? And he's kind of like stuttering, kind of like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, like whatever. And so long story short, he says he wouldn't do nothing. He's not fighting no dude behind KB. And KB just cannot believe this because she's like, what? Okay, let me give you a chance. Say he was a little guy. What would you do? Edmund, again, I'm not touching no man. I would rather look like what did he say?
Pussy.
Oh, yeah. He flat out said that. And it took KB back. She was kind of like, wait, what? We even was like, I know he didn't just say that, right? So then she still does not believe him. So she said, what if the man was in a wheelchair? Okay? And he tries to get at me. Once again, I'm not fighting no other man. That's what he said, no other man. Which, that was a weird choice of words. Other man. Behind.
Right.
And I really don't think that conversation rubbed her right, but she didn't really react. For whatever reason. She didn't go off, but she didn't really react for that. They get to the little pool party after that, and Edmund is doing his Edmund thing. He looks at Annie, and he don't say this to her, but, and this comes into play in a couple minutes, he looks at her, he's like, oh, I like her hair, she's this, basically he's saying he's attracted to her. And then he's like in the little group with the guys, and the guys get right to talking about, have they smashed yet? Their partners. And it turns out Edmund is the only one that hasn't got the yams, as Jey would say.
Poor little Ting Ting.
And Edmund starts to kind of feel away, I feel like. He kind of feeling away that he the only one that hadn't got the yams. So anyway, let's go on. Edmund's around the pool doing weird stuff, volunteering to put sunblock on the other man's women. The man looking like, hey man, like that's my girl. What are you doing? So it was just weird.
It was.
That was just a weird thing. And there was a point where Emmett had to talk to Annie. He just had to talk to her and check her about Brendan.
Yeah.
And he's like, why did you do my guy like that? And once again, it was really awkward. He almost looked like he wanted to cry at the pool talking about Brendan's feelings and how Annie hurt Brendan's feelings and he really liked her. And AB had to be like, watch your mouth. Like, watch what you're saying. You know, Annie's a nice person. She picked the person that chose her first. Like, leave her alone. Like, you know, Brendan didn't communicate to her that he really wanted her like that, so she moved around.
Well, I'll say this. I understand maybe not the way he conveyed it, but I do think there is a place for what he did. Because you gotta understand, he is over there in the guys' quarters. He's heard the conversations with Brendan. He's also heard Nick talking.
Yeah.
So he probably it's like, yo, like you actually had somebody genuine.
I get that.
For this guy, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you need people to step up and do that because, you know, sometimes you need a person that has that extra level of care to even give a damn enough to do that.
Do you feel like that was the appropriate setting, though?
I don't think most of the things he does is appropriate or timed appropriately. The man has the timing of a stroke. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. He did what he needed to do. He felt...
It was awkward once again. It was just like poor timing. It just was. Amy was trying to like reel him in a little bit, like chill, because he was getting a little loud, sort of. And it was kind of like, okay, chill. So anyway, that was Em and KB at the pool. Then we have Madison and Joe. Joe is getting sloshed at the bar. I mean, he is hanging out with everybody but Madison. He ain't talking to Madison like that. He's all up in Jordan's face, acting like he want to be with Jordan. And Jordan and him is knocking back shots. Jordan getting a little too tipsy himself, irritating Megan. He's irritating and annoying Megan because they're making jokes. And they're like doing that playful, I'm not going to say it, but doing that playful weird thing that guys do sometimes, like nut checking type stuff, you know, just weird stuff. And Megan's like, this is just uncomfortable and weird and you're being annoying. And so Jordan kind of chills out a little bit. They've been trapped like a dorm type thing, But that's how she felt. And so Jordan pipes down. He see Megan is kind of he's like, okay, cool, yeah, maybe I'm doing a little bit too much. But Joe kept the party going. Joe is drinking, and at one point, Madison walks over there, and she's like, are you okay? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm fine, you know, type thing. And eventually, he walks up to her and tells her he wants to go to the room and lay down. And she's like, do you want me to go with you? And he was like, no, you can stay. You can stay.
Which is understandable for him to say.
No, but it was how he said it. Like, no, I don't want you coming with me. But he was trying to be nice. So he was like, she keeps asking the same question over and over again, which is annoying. I have to admit. You heard what he said. You might not want to accept what he said. And he meant for you to stay your ass at the pool so he can go upstairs and lay down. That's it. Leave the man alone. Call it weird, whatever you want to call it. I feel like he kind of let her know.
Yeah.
But he was trying to be polite. Anyway, Joe leaves. Madison, she stays down at the pool, chit-chats for a little while. Next scene is she goes up to the room, and Joe is laying in the bed. And she walks over to him and taps him and is like, hey, how are you feeling? Are you okay? And he's like, who are you? Where am I? Wait, you were at where? Where were you? He kept asking her where she's drunk. And she's like, you left me at the pool and you don't remember? And once again, she keeps repeating, you don't remember? No, I don't remember. Like, and it's almost like he's not even aware of where he's at. He's drunk, you know?
It's like, obviously, context clues. Like, hey,
right.
Let me give him a second. Like, I'm going to be honest, like...
Just talk to him in the morning. You could be mad at him, whatever, but you're not going to get any answer.
Not even that. Why don't you just go and, like, take a shower? Leave him alone for a second. Go get in the bed. Like, you just walked in. I got a hangover. You're in my face. Like, that's what lets somebody saying something reckless that they probably shouldn't say. But that's the type of stuff that lets that.
No.
It's like, yo, give me a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I get that. But like I was saying, not to like, ignore her feelings. She has a right to be irritated or mad or whatever, but she can. But like, I do think she could have waited to let him know.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like maybe
right
even the next
irritated.
day. Like I would have waited to the next day.
No, she could just give him 15, 20 minutes, half hour.
He was looking pretty bad. I feel like he needs to sleep it off.
Just let him sleep it off, or just leave him, or just hey, I know you're not feeling good. Not
right. It was a lot of that.
No.
Right. And at first, I felt like I was being a little bit judgy because I'm like, how you gonna go down there and get tipsy like that? But I don't. Sometimes it happens. We all been there. You do that on vacation. A lot of us have had a little bit too much. It happens. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Let him sleep it off. Talk to him about that crap in the morning. Exactly. It is what it is. Yeah. But she goes and gets a water bottle and she keeps asking him. And so that's pretty much it for that. Madison freaks out. She's like, this is too much for me type of thing, and that's how that ends with them. All the couples, once again, I'm going to repeat, all the couples smashed. They all had sex. And we get to AB and Edmund. They're sitting in the bed, having a good conversation, a decent conversation. She's talking about her boundaries, as far as like, taking it a step further and having relations and whatnot. And she kind of said some things that's a little bit much. Like, she done made people wait 2 years and all these other things. This is what she's saying. We can all go by what she's saying. And that's when Edmund starts to look like, huh? And then they get into this conversation where she basically tells him maybe a little bit too much for Edmund. And I said I emphasize Edmund because other people wouldn't give a damn. Edmund, this bothered him. She tells him that she's had one night stands. They don't mean nothing. And the next day they know what's up, or even you're not even sleeping in my bed. Bye. Like after we're done, get out. I think. So he freaks out. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. I mean, I get. So she pretty much says, hey, she lets him know probably not going to happen. But I think I was thinking 4 weeks.
When we get
a month. All right, cool. Yeah. I mean, now he could take it away because he's like, oh, so like you said, so we got to wait till we're married. So I'm not going to test it beforehand. Mm-hmm. But you think when they was at the pool, he was saying, I got to see what it's like.
He did say that.
And he could almost take it as, you want me to get you to this point, and then you can make a choice whether to or not to. So if I take you all this way and do all this, you get to go on this trip, and then we get there and you say, no, that means I don't never get to test out the goods. I done laid it all on the line. I can't even see what it's working with. He's like, nah, that ain't gonna work for him. Which, I'm gonna be honest, can I understand that mindset? Absolutely. As a man, I can say I understand that mindset. Here's what I don't understand. The way that you convey it. Now, he obviously is not, he's a different type of person, and he handled it wrong. He kind of freaked out. He tweaked completely the hell out.
He was making tickets.
He started, I'm too nice, which, I understand that, we all been experienced. I've been a guy who's been nice and been like, that didn't work out. Person took advantage of it, or maybe I handled it wrong. All these things. Yeah. And there's no age limit on that. It's about your experiences. Cool. You don't tweak out like that. Because all you're doing, one, is just make yourself look very immature, very emotionally inept, things of that nature. Also, you push it further away. That finish line just goes down further down the road because of that. And I just don't think that he had a very mature mindset going into it. The guys at the party was telling him, hey, man, is that a requirement? Okay. Here's the thing. Maybe this is something that you should have brought up ahead of time.
In the pod.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, guess what? We've been here about 14 days. We're finna go to Baja, Mexico. Guess what? If we're not doing something, then either we're not going, because I'm not going to go to Baja and not do nothing. So is it going to be you that I'm going to be doing something with or not? Because if I go to Baja, I'm doing something. And that's just the adult way to handle it. Well, and he got himself caught up. But now also that lets you show his intent too. Is it both of them you can read it a certain way? His intent, is the sex really that important? Her, if you're gonna marry him, unless you have some sort of whatever, unless it's a big conviction of you, obviously, because a woman has the right to do with her body what she wants to. I don't want to
that, and that's what I was about to say.
Saying that I'm pressing and I'm not.
That's exactly
I'm saying this is the conversation you guys should have had. I think
I agree.
Because it seems like everybody else on one level or another was able to get that insight. Oh, this person would probably be.
I was about to say, and they all did get that insight.
Yeah.
They all kind of discussed, and they kind of hinted around to like, yeah, we probably about to do this type thing.
I think he took it as going that step like he's entitled to it.
And that is the problem for me. So. Like, he took ownership of her, and I cannot agree with that.
And I feel,
the way that he lashed out, he's like, that is mine, and you're going to give that to me.
Which
and I didn't like that. He don't. So that was off-putting for me. Like, I don't know. And in some ways, I just feel like maybe you could tell she visibly didn't know what to do with his reaction, because it was so over the top and just, what do you do? Like, you know what I mean? And should I be kind of scared too?
I don't think she was scared. She seems like she knew. I don't think she was scared. I mean, she's on a TV show.
She probably ugly wasn't scared because cameras were around.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's cameras around, there's people that, like, I highly doubt.
I don't think she was worried for herself, but you could still be scared of something and not worried for your safety necessarily. Like, the way his facial expressions were, it was like, what the is happening? Like, you know? So, I don't know. But that was the end of that episode. All 6 episodes.
So, next Wednesday, we get a new set of people, I believe, and then we'll be going from there. But, I think only one of these relationships, well, 2. I say 2.
Which one do you think will work?
I'm for Joe and Megan. Or not Joe, but Jordan and Megan. I'm pushing for them.
Yeah.
The other one is Anton and Allie, because we don't really hear about them, but they were there.
Anton. They are pretty problematic for the moment.
Yeah, so they're like just chilling. So the other ones.
Phase 2 is when stuff really starts to fall apart, though. That's stuff, y'all living together.
But, hey, that's this episode. We'll see y'all in the week. Watch these and follow up with the next ones that are coming.
Right. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on all our social media channels, and we will talk to y'all on that next batch of Love is Blind next Wednesday.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Bye. Yeah.